Cool. I think everything is set up and we should be live. Let me get my docs pulled over. It opened in the wrong tab. And what do these locks mean? I've never seen that before. Let's see if somebody in chat can tell me if I'm live and I sound okay. I made the mistake of running cargo clean on all of my projects to get some hard drive space, so I have to rebuild the game from scratch, but hopefully that should be done by the time I'm ready to start. Oh, thank you, MDR. Cool. So let me see if Nightbot's working. Howdy, Sophie. Using Nightbot to try to get my own design document. Usually takes a minute to pull up for some reason. Oh, beautiful. Everything just works. Cool. My poor CPU, 99%. I should have thought about that before I started streaming. But soon, hopefully, I'll be able to show where we are. Yeah, give me a challenge. It's okay to do anything. Oh, what's this? The O, Sophie? Oh, the CPU. 99.7's fine. It will be okay. Actually, let's, oh, terminals are taking a while to open. 100% on 20 cores. Yeah, I remember you telling me about WASM 4. Anyways, I challenge you to make a game with a new lang. Alright. I will evaluate your challenge right now while I wait for my computer to... Now the temperature's turning yellow. Oh, it's almost done. Oh, good. I left the game in a crashing state. I left past me. So, WASM 4 gives us 160 by 160 pixels with Game Boy style colors. 64 kilobytes of linear RAM. That's so much. Up to 4 gamepads. Ooh, 2 pulse waves, 1 triangle wave, and 1 noise channel. And 124 bytes, or 1024 bytes of disk storage. Interesting. Let me take a moment just to look at all this. Okay. Oh man, this takes me back. I don't know what this reminds me of. So we can blit a sprite. Copies a subregion with a larger sprite axis. Interesting. We can draw lines, ovals, text. We can play tones. We can write to disk. We can start, we can update, we can trace. What's palette? Oh, you can pick your own colors to put in the palette. Ooh, that's fancy. Draw colors. Oh, I understand. So these are the hardware registers. NetPlay. Enable. Set if NetPlay is currently active. Oh, local player index. Ooh. I might try making an online game. Is this worth trying out live? Or should I... Oh, I'll ask the 2 people active in chat. Do I change the title of my stream and step away from Bevy and try this out? Or do I come back to this a different day? Sort palette. How do I see... Use any programming language as long as it can compile to WebAssembly. Try some games in the Play tab. Sure. Floppy fish. Player 1 controls with the arrows X and Z. Start save. Continue. Tap to start. Tap the screen to change floppy's direction. Do I click on it? Okay. Oh, I have bindings on. Let me turn off all bindings for this. Let's pick a different one. Oh, you can make chess. Versus CPU. Why does enter do that? Is it Z to select? Ah. Plays white. Oh, okay, enter is just always going to be mapped to, what? Okay, chess is basic chess. What else do we have? Explore the grotto. Start is X. Okay, I don't have a candle. Can I kill the bats? There's a sword. Okay, I did not pick up the sword. Yeah, I think I can make something in this. So, how do I get started? Getting started, setup. We'll download it for Linux. Don't look at my downloads folder. PM. Let me run build. Let's look at the source code for Hello World. Sure. Oh, and then here you pick your language. Guessing memory. I would try this out in Zig. I've never used Zig. But with this, okay, yeah, now the whole website thinks I'm doing it in Zig. Will you tell me how to compile with Zig? Oh, Zig build. Derelease. I'll try this out a different day, because I'd want to get Zig installed. And it's probably going to take a minute. But I'll come back to this. I guess that'd be a fun video. And I might make just like a fun game dev clickbaity video for it. Package manager. Brew install Zig, Scoop install Zig, Pac-Man install Zig. Don't have any apt. Snap install Zig. Sure. What were my standards? Oh, for videos or for what? Does anyone in chat know Zig? Oh, hey Max. You've been around since the beginning of the channel. Oh, for titles? Maybe. Oh, for clickbait. I don't know. I don't know if I like the idea of clickbait. I know a little bit of Zig. I just want to run Hello World. I have a problem. What was this called? Wasm 4? Wasm 4. Alright. What do we got? If I set this to Zig, I'll just run the commands. W4 not found. I need to install it. Oh, I downloaded it. Ooh, okay, sure. Extract, let's put this over here. I don't know what I have around my hard drive. Let's see, this would be a tool? Sure. Close. So tools, W4, new, zig, hello world. Zig build, release, small, equals true. Oh, I see. Okay. How fast is it going to compile? And then I run it with, do I just have that on my path? Run it with run zig out lib cartridge.wasm. How do I, let me add this to my path. I'm doing this off screen. Colon home Matthew tools. Projects Watson 4 W4. Beautiful. Alright. Let's peek at the hello world. Oh, I guess I should run it. W4 run zig out lib cart. Oh, it gives me a QR code. Oh, I'm doing good. How are you doing, Mark? Or Max? Sorry. X to blink. Ah. Turn off my hotkeys because X closes tabs. Interesting. How do you work? Oh, okay. We create a smiley face. I kind of see it. And we draw colors. Draw color star equals 2. I'd have to look up what that means. I'd like the auto-generated hello world here to have comments. Hello from Zig, at the top. We get a gamepad. Oh. Oh, this is the memory map. Okay. Let me draw colors. You're setting it to 2, which would draw color 1. I'm glad to hear that, Max. But 0 to 3. Why is 0 to 3? So that's setting the color. Hold on. Setting the color to this green. Okay. And then the gamepad we get from w4.gamepad, which is gamepads. Gamepad. And then we can pair it with w4.button1 with a bitwise AND. Do I need this not equal 0? Oh, thank you. Right now I'm just playing around with some Wasm 4 stuff just to get warmed up. And then we draw colors 4. Oh, that's when you change the color if you're pressing X. So this update loop is happening every frame. Oh, and then we blit the smiley face and the text. So we set the color from the blue channel. Draw colors. Star. That should all still be blue. Let's see. Okay, you have to do it and equal, or equal 0, or not equal 0. Yeah, I can get my head around this. I love that it makes a QR code. Does the QR code contain the entire game? Scan the QR code with your mobile device. Oh, that is the entire game. That's why the cartridge size is what it is. Okay. Well, let's see. Can I make something up here? A variable, perhaps? Let's see. An int of position. I'm just playing around right now, see what's possible. I don't have a game in mind. And so if I'm pressing button 2, I want position equals position plus 1. And I want this to be at 16 plus position. Correct? Expected a comma. Alright, let's see. This is how I'm learning Zig. Basic drawing. How do you create a variable in Zig? Constant? I don't want it to be constant. Do I not need a type? I want constant. Maybe I don't need a type. Expected a comma after the field. Oh, here we go. Primitive types. I8. Expected a comma after a field. It's var. Okay, so constant var. Unable to infer type. So do I specify Zig var declaration? We're in Zig. Okay, yeah. And then this is Rust style. Okay. Ooh, and now when I press Z, it moves the text off screen. Ooh. That's gameplay. Or even better, what if we, instead of increasing the position, we also increase the color? I'm working on it, Sophie. Expected U16, found I32. This is my stream. I'll have fun if I want. Zig casting as implicit casting. I kind of disagree. You didn't look like you were implicitly casting. Or can you not implicitly cast an integer to What if I Ooh, that's not good. So it doesn't crash, it just loops around. Oh yeah, you have fun, Sophie. So now I can change the color in a horrible way. Okay. Oh, are there only... Okay. Alright, I'm going to be done with this, but I will come back to it. Let me get my screen space back. So where was I in this game? I was crashing, which is much less fun. So why did I leave it crashing? Connected. So stage. What are you crashing at? No entities. The player. Wait, no entities? Oh, because the change filter. Oh. Because I actually don't want the change filter, because the system still always runs. Unless setting the binding actually is re-triggering a draw. Let me remember what we were doing. Oh, good grief, this all stayed open. So in the shop, we are bound to the money. And this will, I'll make it info print whenever it redraws. Okay. That's one redraw. Alright, so it's only redrawing when I want it to be. So it is smart. So this works. Let me move that over to the shop. And this should keep the money in shop in sync. Ooh, I would not recommend watching the past live streams, Kyle. I can explain loosely what we have, or I have a design document of what we're trying to get to. Basically, I'm just trying to make an old Flash game, like a place where you own a store. And I've been working with Kayak UI to create this UI so far. Oh, howdy. Dejame? I'm sorry, I can't get the name. I need to practice it. If you could give me guidance. But yeah, so far we're working on the shop, trying to just get buttons that only work if the player has enough money. And I probably also should display how much money the player has on screen. Let me move the system for updating the money. Here. So on entering, we'll spawn the shop, and then on update, we'll update the binding, and the kayak context will react to the binding. And here are our widgets. Let me create a folder called UI, maybe. And I'll put my widgets here. And here I'll mod widgets, or mod UI. Djaimi. Yes, this UI package is different from the standard Bevy setup. I've destroyed this poor browser. Let me close everything to the right. It works by using HTML style kind of way of defining UI. Where you set up like your app, and then your buttons, and then the text inside it. It's based on JSX, which apparently should mean something to someone, but I've never used it. but it lets you set like the position of windows. I'm just trying it out. I'm gonna make a video tutorial on it soon. I love when YouTube says I have 0 viewers and yet there are people chatting. But yeah, I've been evaluating it for 2 weeks. I've used it successfully or someone else has used it successfully in an open source project we do on the channel. And so I'm trying to learn it myself and see if it's worth recommending to people. I was modding UI, which should let me get these widgets moved. And the core premise of the UI is you can set up these custom widgets, which have more behavior available than Bevy's default. So I have a shop widget, an item widget, and that's it. And I probably should clean these up. I'm going to need to import all this kayak stuff. I need to get better at managing my imports. Oh, and I need the properties as well. Nope, not that. Be handy for web devs if it uses CSS styling. I don't think it does, but I am well outside of the web dev world. Well, where were we not happy about? Oh, you just need the prelude. Do we run? Do we not compile? Let me open up Clippy. And then I'm going to get rid of all these warnings. Shop is not found in the scope. Item props not found in the scope. So I need to use pubuse. Where do I want this? Create UI widgets. Maybe? What is this? Ah, the module's private. Sure. Cannot find handle shop click. That's because it's still over here. And now I'm getting into organization. Maybe I want that to be still in the shop. Okay, everything compiles. Does it run? Beautiful. And I can still spend my money. And if I check, I am still obtaining tea. And I think I talked about I don't want the player just to have teas. I think I want them to have, like, you have X black tea of different qualities. But first, let's make a commit, and then let's try to fix it. Bevy tutorials, live streaming, kombucha game, and cargo fix. Beautiful. Game state has derived impulse for debug and clone, but these are intentionally ignored during dead code analysis. Why? Why are you giving me this notification? Are they dead code or are they not? And why are there still warnings? Let me format. Well, let's go prelude 8. Let's remove clone and debug then. State data. Clone is not implemented, so I needed these. No, I think I've actually disabled anyone who's not mod from putting a link in the chat. On accident, and I don't know how to fix it. I'm trying to commit how to pronounce your name to memory. Okay. That also... Why does system set require debug? Alright, fine. Whatever. I just want to get my output clean. Why is that so much to ask for? So, we can now buy tea. Maybe I need to actually make a game now. So we have a player who has teas. What do I do with teas? I guess I need to make buttons for you to exit the shop, because then you need to exit the shop and start buying tea. Maybe I actually want a state for the shop. Yeah, let's just start going. Let's say we have a shop and we have our store. And you need to be able to swap between them. So when you enter the shop, we'll spawn the grid, and when you're updating the shop, we will update the money binding. Escape is good key for closing the shop? Sure. I guess I could just get it on a keybind instead of... did I just put something I shouldn't have? Oh, on enter store will spawn the bottle. I guess put it on a keybind. Our store. So exit shop, which needs to mutate the game state. So mutate state res state game state. It's been a while. And then state dot what? Set our store. Game state our store. Right? DRF mute is required to modify for a DOF, but it's not implemented for a resource of state game state. I've done something wrong. Let's just look in the cheat book. Oh. And state. It's been a long time. I always say that. But I always feel like it's been so long since I've actually wrote code in Bevy. Res state. Match. To change to another state. Set. Res mute state. App state. State stack. Oh, res mute. That's what I was complaining about. Because res does not implement deref as mute. And we'll just unwrap. What do you do? Not unwrap. What do you return? A result. Is there an ignore result? I think I can just ignore result. So add system exit shop. Why do you crash? Spawn bottle does not exist. I'm entering our store. Spawn bottle? Ask for the image assets resource. But that should exist. And spawn bottle should never run. Because we start in Splash. Oh, well, this runs instantly. So I also need the input key down. Res input keyboard or key code, and if keyboard dot, let me change my typo please. Wait, is that not a typo? I guess not. Just pressed key code escape. And then that spawns the bottle. So on exiting, I need to despawn the shop. Come on. On system. How did I just lowercase everything? On exit, I need a despawn shop system, which I think should be easy, because I just need to destroy the kayak context, which I believe there's an example for, called Bevy state. See, I've been researching. I know more than I did last time. And they just remove the resource. That's it. So this should be despawn shop. Cool. Which means I now, let's see. I can buy tea. Oh, and then let me also make one to go back into the shop, just to test. Set the state to shop. Okay. And every time I'm doing that, I'm creating more bottles. So maybe I want to use the states as a stack. maybe I want to start out with, after the menu will go away. And then we'll have our store pops up, and then you can hit shop, which will create a shop on top of our store, and then we'll pop back to our store. So what I want to do actually is I want to go to our store first. And then I want to push I want to push the shop and then pop it. I want to pop and I want to push. Cool. And if I keep hitting escape, pop just quietly does nothing. And by quietly does nothing, it returns an error, which would say, attempted to pop, but there's nothing to pop. Is there a nice way to ignore an error in Rust? I googled this all the time. Don't use the result. What underscore? Sure. And that should silence the warnings. Let's see. Tab feels better for opening a shop. And then I already have the ability to click on the bottle. So let's make an empty bottle. Let me get Sprite open. Tools, Sprite, build. And let me open up our art before I bring it on screen. Hey, I just changed it to use tab. Look at that. I hope that unable to see was me opening Sprite. I was messing around in my file system and I don't know why, but I'm a little hesitant to do that on camera. So I'm going to make an empty bottle, Sprite. I probably could just bucket fill this, but I'm not an artist. I just want to empty out the bottle. And then when you click on the bottle, you'll fill it with juice. And let's grab an outline. Sure. Save it. Export it. Overwrite. And now, when I spawn the bottle, the index, oh man, what would the index be? This is 512 by 512, and I'm using 32-bit pixel sprites. Let's make a constant. I don't know if I want a constant. It'd be nice to have like a resource that has the lookup, but for now we can do this. Let empty bottle index equal 512 divided by 32 times 1 plus 1. Let. This is Ubuntu with i3 with a very basic setup. think that has the information for nerds. So I'm going to end up making this into a resource. How day 1 and 2... I do have them. I've put them into a playlist for past live streams. I don't think the past live streams make for good entertainment watching. And they don't have much educational value. So they're there in a playlist, but I would not recommend watching them. Because it's a lot of me just talking to chat and doing stuff like this and making very slow progress. This is kind of like a Q&A session. I might do a video where I like recap everything I did live just to show off this game, but I don't know. So the sheet size is 512, tile size 32. So I can do, and then rows will be sheet size divided by tile size. And then I can do, it's in the first row, and it's the first item in it. Empty bottle index. It's not going to like that, even though I think it's more descriptive. And so when I click on it, I want to use one of the teas that we bought. So here, I need to get the player, and we'll just use the first T for now. Let's see. I want to go ahead and make the player a resource. I don't know why I haven't. Oh, well, because then I can't see it in the GUI, which helps a lot for debugging. I need to find a way to get, maybe I'll contribute that to the eGUI or the inspector, so I can inspect resources. I wonder how hard that would be, because it'd be very helpful. Or maybe it's already a feature and I just don't know how to use it. So let's say let player equal player.single. Probably going to want to mutate it. And I want to, if player.tease, why is it just T? What is wrong with me? No, it's T's. Oh yeah, well then what's wrong with my tab to complete? And the length is greater than 0? If not, player empty. I bet Clippy would complain about that. Then I want to change, I want to take away a T, and I want to change the bottle. Dot pop. And I'll unwrap because I've already confirmed that there is one. I guess I could do if let some T. No, I haven't quit on Bevy. Were you looking at the WASM 4 stuff at the beginning? That was just me playing around. No, I'm pretty committed to Bevy. So now I have a T. And I want to put that into a bottle. So I need to see, I guess, the entity. Oh, the previous stream on day 2. Oh no, I was using Bevy then. Yeah, I was using Kayak for the UI. But that was just a plugin in Bevy, a community plugin. Did I make bottle? I need to make a bottle. Well, we'll come back to that. Let's see. And then I need to see if what you clicked on is in the bottle query. Sometimes I type too fast for my own good. So if you have a T, oh, I don't want to pop, if let some bottle sprite is in bottles query, get returns the query result for entity. Sure. So it's okay. So if what you clicked on is a texture out with sprite, then I want to put the T in it. And you have a T. I want to set your sprite to, what's it? It's not dot index. It is dot index. To the bottle filled index, which is 0. Let's see. What are we all not happy about? Well, I need to mutate this, which means I'll need to mutate the query. And now what are we not happy about? Cannot borrow player T's as mutable. Yes, you can. Why can't you? Can interchange to be a mutable reference. But single mute should return a mutable reference. Right? I feel like something more fundamental is wrong. Because I need this mute. Why? Where it's a single mutable query. When there's exactly one. Oh, are you done complaining now? No, you're not. Because data cannot be written. Oh. I'm forgetting. It's been a while. Don't make fun of me. You have to put like 7 different mutes in places. Alright, so now I click on this. I don't own any teas, right? So it doesn't do anything. But if I go to my tea shop, I buy myself an expensive tea. I can then click on my bottle, and I can put tea in it. And I can close out the shop. And I've spent my money, but I don't have any teas. And I can buy 2 more teas. And I can click on it. And I can put more tea in it. Which is not correct. So let's make the bottle component. For this project, I'm trying out all components into a prelude. Which has optional T. And when I create it, it will have no T. So when I spawn the bottle, you'll have no T. And I actually don't think I need to be mutating the sprite. I think I need to just mutate bottle. And then someone else will be responsible for handling the sprite. I don't know if that's just making too much complexity though. .t will equal t sum t. And t at some point won't need to have its price. It's cool. And let's make a bottle sprite updater. And this will query for all the bottles, and we'll set their sprite. And this will be where I actually need my magic numbers, which I think is a relatively reasonable place. It'll only be in one place. I think that's not true. But it might be true. For bottle, or for mutable sprite bottle in the bottles query, iter mute. Oh, maybe you're upside down, put a mute there. Nope. And let's do a changed bottle. I actually don't think that gets us that much performance because it will still, I don't know. So if bottle.t is sum, then we want to set the sprite index to did I lose it? Oh, to 0. So empty bottle index and filled bottle index. Let me grab that. Why is this not satisfied? Bottle is filled, else the bottle is empty. And then the future will have different like levels of fermentation in the bottle. Why are you not happy? World query is not implemented for bottle. You're not happy because you need an ampersand. Beautiful. And we'll add a system for bottle sprite updating. And we'll probably need to move this out to a different place, because the bottle's also going to have its fermentation level. So the bottle exists, I buy myself a tea, I can fill the bottle. Buy more teas. Do I still have the problem of using teas I've already bought? I do. So I need to check that the bottle is empty. If let sum, if let okay, if, wish there was a way I could do this without using so many if statements. So this is actually just now bottle. Bottle.t.is none. This is a lot of nesting. But I don't know how if you can tie together the multiple if-lets, and Clippy doesn't seem to care. Cool. Still don't do a menu yet. I guess I'll just remove menu. We'll add it when we get to it. Cool. So now the bottle also needs a SCOBY. So let's make a SCOBY. Because that's what does the renting. No! Why are you here? Go away. Report. Remove. Report. Pornographic. Oh, message deleted by Nightbot. Okay, well, you know... okay, what do I do when Nightbot is the one who's now, misbehaving? I don't want to hide him. Don't want to remove his moderator. Don't want to put him in timeout. I don't have an option just to delete a single message. I can only pin it or report it. Okay, well, no one read what Nightbot's saying. It did block the correct bots, but I'd prefer it not say what it's saying right now. The completions here are nuts. Is that just Rust or something for Bevy also? Yeah, the name is upsetting. Yeah, YouTube's had a problem with these bots since I've started. Hold on. Everyone's now chatting because a bot got everyone all excited. They all clicked over. Having if-let long inspections make these a lot cleaner. Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. So it's a plan for future Rust, not something I can work with now. Cool. So a SCOBY. It's going to be a strut. SCOBY. I don't know what properties a SCOBY has. Health? Because I know your SCOBY can die. If anyone knows anything about kombucha SCOBYs, I'd love to hear it. If it has any properties that could be interesting. SCOBY is not a component. So I also need a shop selling SCOBYs. Let's see. Shop here. It's alive. A SCOBY is alive. I gave it a health value. And I know it can die. If what exists in Rust currently, the chaining is the RFC. Yeah. Because, yeah. Having to go 4 layers deep to do this. Okay, is none, some. I don't know. Padrion from BA Test Kitchen is deleting SCOBY Master. Does anyone have his email? Madeline told me that there's like not different kinds of SCOBYs, because I told her when I was pitching the game that I wanted to have a shop where you could buy different qualities, and she said there's no like quality or anything. They are what they are. And I don't know, at some point I'll make it where you can grow your own in-game. I guess it's a game, so I could make up properties, but for now let's just do health, and let's get them in the shop. Which also means I get to do art. You can have a tuple for multiple if-lets in a single line. Ooh, that could be interesting. But then the problem is I wanted short-circuiting, because I don't want to pop. I don't want to pop if the first one fails. SCOBY is a SCOBY. There's other stuff like a kefir. You don't want to do expensive computations, and there are side effects, namely. Oh, for the tuple. Tempeh. Madeline eats tempeh. Yeah, that's not kombucha. This is just going to be... At some point, this will be me going down a rabbit hole of fermented beverages. Potency? Sure, we'll do potency. So you do have, like, quality of scobies. Wait, she brews her own kombucha? Because it's a small world if that's true. Yeah, SCOBY is a symbiotic colony of bacteria and yeast? Yeah. And when I look at the pictures online, some are thick, some are thin. Like, that doesn't look like a healthy SCOBY. That looks like somebody's eating its pancakes. Yeah, I don't... Like, that's a legendary SCOBY. Yeah, so various types of bacteria or yeast. Maybe. Maybe the fun of the game will be growing your own SCOBY. And SCOBY breeding or something. Like you can mix two to make one super SCOBY. But first, let me make it where you can actually buy it in the shop. So right now I only have an item for tea. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. When she told me that there's not, I'm like, well, but every SCOBY would have a different, like, collection of organisms in it. There's no way they're all genetically identical. Yeah. Like sourdough starters. So you're telling me I should go to youtube.com/this? No. Yeah. I don't know. That's worth more research. My goal is to learn more about this than her by having to code it up and be academic about kombucha. I copied that link, right? Oh, you want to do /watch with the code. Beautiful. Alright, you have fun. Thanks for coming out. Let me just mod you, Kyle. Welcome to being a moderator. You can now post links in the chat. Yeah, I tried repasting it. It's doing that every time. I need to figure out more of how to use YouTube, because I just mod people whenever I want them to add a link. Because it doesn't even let me, oh no. I just lost my live chat because I clicked on the link. Be a test kitchen. When I click on it, it's still... Is the link working for other people? If I click on it in OBS? Hold on. Working it out. Oh, now I've really done it. Oh, now I can watch it in my OBS pop out. Let me copy the name, and we're just gonna... We've lost the OBS chat. Beautiful. Cool. I'm not gonna watch that live, but I will come back to it. Thank you after all the suffering. Cool. So how do I get my SCOBY into the UI? My item props right now only takes a T. So maybe it's a different kind of item? How do I abstract out items? Well, because they need different behavior. They need different code. Buying T inserts it to your T's. But buying a SCOBY would insert it to, I guess, SCOBYs. I guess the player needs a SCOBY inventory. Maybe I need a more generic item type that also includes SCOBYs. Now let's do item type. That sounds more reasonable. And then this will be a T. Usually there's only one SCOBY. Yes, I know that. So we'll have T enum, and we'll have a SCOBY enum. Let's see. How good are Rust enums? And then they use part of one to start a new culture and a drink. Yeah. And growing the first SCOBY takes 4 weeks, which is Madeline's worst nightmare for SCOBYs die. Need to implement debug for SCOBY. I'll make a copy, because why not? And now widget here actually will take in an item type. Right? And I have to implement default for it, which is kind of So implement default for item type. The default will just be a T. Item type will return the default T. T type default. When in Rust am I going to get my default for enums? Cool. And then we have item type, and here it also probably needs the cost, right? Because the T doesn't really need the cost, the button needs the cost. So I should be able to start cleaning stuff up. So the item here will be item type T. Okay. Oh, wait. That's before this curly brace. Now let's remove these, just so we can practice. And the cost will equal 100. I'm really shocked at how well proc macros are being handled by the Rust analyzer. It seems to be able to point exactly at where all the problems are. What's this dot? You're just underlining because that's what you feel like. Match props.item, and then item type T, means we'll push the T, and item type SCOBY will do nothing for now when you buy it. But we'll still take your money, because of course it will. Now on the widget, why is this here? Oh, because I'd copied it. Okay, well, widget's now upset. Props.cost will gray out. And we'll format it with item. Yeah, we'll just debug format it with item for now. Okay, that all seems to work. If I run now, I believe it should all just work. There's my T and its new beautiful printout, which I can just implement the pretty printing for, but I can buy T's and then they black out. Which means I should now also be able to, on the second row, create a SCOBY, which will have a health and a potency. Right? Public everything. Okay. And I have a SCOBY, but it's rendering on top of this. Probably because I'm not expecting the text to take up so many lines. I'm expecting the text to only take up one line. Let me implement the pretty printing. What do I need to implement to get pretty printing? Format? Display. So we need to impl display for item type. Node code actions available. This is my first time ever implementing display. What? This trait requires format with this exact signature. Okay. Write strictly the first element into the supplied output. Interesting. So, okay. Oh, do I need to import it? Give me a CD. Cool. So now I want to match against self. And if item type Thank you, Michael. I wonder how long the stream delay is, because a lot of people hit me with the things that I just figured out. And then item type, Scopy. And then here, I want to just print out T for now. And here I want to print out Scopy. And I'm missing my equal ampersand, or equal caret. What are we not happy about? Oh, underscores. We'll come back to that. Don't need that. An ampersand to all patterns. Okay. Cool. And now the shop. You don't need the curly brace and the match. Sure. I can just do a comma. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure. Oh no, okay. Sometimes the formatter does it. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the fancy font. I installed it because it was cool, but I'm worried that sometimes it makes sometimes it messes up when you're just like, when something requires a bunch of characters one after another and you have to add spaces. Like, I think dot equal does something weird. Okay. And I don't know if they're distracting for like tutorials. Like if I do exclamation mark equal and somebody's brand new to programming and they see that symbol, they'll like figure, I don't know. Rust doesn't support like Unicode. Like I can't put the equal sign of a slash character into the actual Rust code, right? That's something like Julia does. I like it, I just don't know if it's something I should have as somebody who makes video tutorials. Where do I print the button? I print the budget in the widget. I haven't had anyone complain about it yet. I've had a lot of people complain about a lot of weird stuff, but I can't say that I've ever had someone complain about my font. Here we go. What's comic code? Why is a scope that isn't really needed? Yeah. Non-ASCII indents. Oh, Comic Sans for code. I could do that. If I do an April Fool's Day video next year. Wow, non-snake case. Okay, but it supports Unicode. But will it support, if I put the equal with a slash through it, will it actually treat that as not equal to when it compiles? Or does that have to be exclamation mark equal? Scopy T. These still are rendering on top of each other now, which I swear they didn't used to. Indents equal identifier. Yeah, I've seen that, where I can use emojis as faces. But could I... It's the old C meme where you could pound define, like, true to be a smiley face. Could I define exclamation mark equal to be the Unicode? Yeah, I know it's not converting a Unicode character, but if it was, would it work? If somebody put the Unicode character into the file, would it work? Yeah. Yeah, I understand how my font works. I was just wondering Because Julia, and I think Haskell, you can actually put in the exotic characters in, and they parse them. Like, Julia. Okay, so it doesn't work. Okay. Like, yeah, in Julia, you can actually use this Unicode character for greater than or equal. Okay. I would never do it. I was just wondering if it would, if that's the way of the future. So how do I make my items? I guess it's the element style, the row styles. I need spacing between them. Yeah, it makes for really readable Julia. I guess I can show that. If no one's seen Julia before, it's a fun, weird language. But the code ends up looking sometimes. Maybe here. Yeah, you can put delta and stuff in your code, or you can define it as a function and then use it. I don't think it's meant for easier typing. I think it's meant for people to, when they're sharing. It's for scientists. So when you... Maybe I'm wrong. I just remember seeing that when I was trying to learn Julia, that it supported it. And it would make it where you can actually use your physics notation if you're a physicist. See if I can find it. Maybe this has all changed. It's been years since I looked. Yeah, so actually if I run Julia, if I've installed, and I copy this cursed Unicode character, this is why these live streams aren't great to watch back over, because I entertain the rabbit holes more than I probably should. But it's fun. It gives me a time to drink water. Come on. Thank you. Do I do question mark? Yeah. So in the question mark, I'll increase the font. It has this built-in, like this symbol, which can be used. Which I don't know how you're ever supposed to type that. Or you can use the cube root icon, the triple equals. This is I don't know. I don't know how this makes people feel, but I always thought it was really cool. Can you imagine writing this character in a program, being like, and getting away with it? It says how you can type it in help. Where? Oh, it can be typed with the backslash, not in. Tab. Oh, that's horrifying. Yeah. So if anyone wants to spend an afternoon in Julia, you can feel very professional. It can be very I don't know how to describe it. Very fancy. was trying to get spacing. Offset. Padding. The padding between the edges of this widget and its children. Oh, do you have experience with Julia? My girlfriend does physics, and so they use a lot of Python. And I'm like, oh, well, Julia looks like it's Python, but less computery, more just like physics, like you'd just be able to type your differential equations in as they are. Ah, yeah. Yeah, everyone Madeline did research with used R. And apparently code wrote by 70-year-old physics PhDs was not enjoyable to read. She had one professor who named every variable as an acronym, but it was the acronym of the term in German. So everything was German acronyms in R. And he just handed her the file and told her, make it work. This is what you're working in for a semester. Oh, thank you, Nightbot. Ooh, how fancy. Wait. I hope you're not saying that you were a tech lead and then the team was just one person. And it was a two-person team, the leader and the data scientist? Or is there more people? Wait for the borders. I'm just staring at chat, so I hope you're all staring at this code and I'm staring at chat. Our data team was one person. Oh, okay. But you had multiple teams. Padding? Maybe padding. Let's try padding. It's a Mozilla diagram of how padding works. Oh. I mean, one data scientist is enough. How much data science do you really need? Yeah, Kyle, the padding is within the item, margin is without. Isn't there a row column spacing? Call between. Is there a row between? There is a row between. The edge of its containing widget. Yeah, everything in UI seems like I have to spend a weekend learning web dev to get my head around it. Well, let's just start trying some stuff. Value. Okay, you want me to try row between? Sure. Pixels? No. How do I use this? Units, pixels 10. Oh, I found out. I probably should tell this to the people who were here the other day. If you've done UI work in modern Android, it's very familiar. Yeah, but what about those of us who have not done that? The problem with eGUI, if I look it up, EGUI 18. Cargo. You have to update depth. You have to update Rust. Wish I could find it. You have to update Rust because it will complain that EGUI version 18 doesn't appear on crates.io because they used the depth flag. Maybe. I'll have to find the issue again and share it on Discord. Oops, probably misspelled units, yeah. Fair enough. And I'm missing parentheses. But to use EGUI, the reason I couldn't use it day one is because my cargo was out of date, and that creates the worst error message. Okay, that didn't seem to do exactly what I wanted. Maybe it needs to be on items. Yesterday, these were working, and they were spaced out. Element and element. Oh, it's because I put it in the wrong place. It's in between elements. Yeah. So, now we have that. Might be easier for different window sizes. We do have percentage. For this game, I don't think I'm targeting different window sizes. I'm trying to build for web. And I think on itch.io, I'm just going to lock it to a set window size. But this value, I don't think was actually setting the spacing. Yeah, when I change it, it doesn't change the spacing here. If you guys want to contribute to Kayak, I have an open pull request. We could all get in and contribute to Kayak and actually make it the best UI. Because I put a lot of time and energy into learning it so far. Next week I'll probably try learning EGUI, now that I can actually get it added to my project. Might not be fully implemented. Padding bottom. Alright, sure. Oh, I had to update Rust for EGUI. Yeah, because cargo, they were using the new cargo flag of depths. I only quickly read the issue. And for some reason, because there was a new cargo flag, it was making the error just not detect it as a package. The issue is on the cargo repo. Let me try to find that. Actually, cargo? GitHub. No. Right. Issues. If I search for EGUI here. This is it. I was getting this bug, which was saying that the version didn't match. When the, I was supposed to have, is it? Maybe I need to look enclosed. Because I don't think that was it either. Crate version missing. This was it. It couldn't find EGUI 18, but it found 17, 16, and whatever. With the old Rust C. And so you need to update your Rust compiler. And the person here said that it uses the new dep syntax and that it's not easy to fix in Cargo. And yeah, the error message was just horrible for actually figuring out what you need to do. And it seemed like they didn't have a good solution in mind for it. But I did find someone else who had the same problem when I was researching it off camera. Row between says the spacing between children widgets along the vertical axes. Spacing between... yeah, old cargo brake stuff. Yeah, it was so weird. Dude. Okay, I need to find the Nightbot setting to make Nightbot not read out the usernames. Just time someone out for spamming emotes and move on. So Zach, are you saying that I should be using row between? I thought you were supposed to use put between property on the style for the container. Which I believe I am. Because element, I guess I'll rename this element styles to get us all familiar. Oh. No reference found. Are you not going to let me do this? I've banned this user. I can ban him again and report him. The problem is it's not one user. It looks the same, but every single time it's a different username. So I've banned like 30 of them at this point. I didn't get any on Tuesday, but today they seem to have found me. Yeah, I think you have it right. I'm not sure why it doesn't work. Row between is for the parent container with the children laid out vertically. Which I think, maybe it's, I forgot how to get the name. Djami. I'm scrolling up. I'm gonna find it. Djaimi. Yeah, maybe Djaimi's the bad luck because every time they're here, the bots show up. I'm trying to get people's names. I care. Oh. Yeah, let me run it. Oh, I just removed this. Okay, so renaming doesn't work through proc macros. I just did a rename in VS Code, and the renaming wasn't working. Hello, compile, run. Oh, I want a parent on top of these? Your empty should have an element. Using the style that contains row between. Okay. So parent style will have row between. Okay. And here you want to put an element. Styles equals some parent style. And then I close the element. Let me indent everything. And remove that because it's not doing anything right now. Oh, brilliant. You are an amazing person. So now if I set this to 10, or a percentage, it should work, right? Wait. I don't think we got it. Maybe if I do the layout type row. No. Layout type column. I don't think that's 1 pixel spacing. I think everyone's still learning Kayak. I mean, there's even a grid layout. If I wanted to get really into it, which is probably exactly what I want for the shop. Somebody got tired of the pickle, and so they submitted actual good art for it. So we now have this amazing sprite sheet that has 1 good piece of art on it. Oh, come on. Yeah. Let's bring in the defaults, overwrite it. It should not. I don't believe it does. You might want grid. I always grid. But how do I set like how many things are in each row in the grid? Do I need to set up the size? Oh, sorry. Ooh, now when I create, it crashes. When we crash, index out of bounds, the length is 2. And Kayak UI update. Length is 2, but the index is 2. Small steps. I believe the container is grid, then you define columns and rows, and you need tags for each. Let me see, is there an example for a grid? Okay, so I need a tag column, row, row. Tabs. Can I search examples for grid? What do you mean there's only 2 code results for grid? Grid row max and grid column. Is that in here? Or a layout field. Layout type, grid. Let me open up Kayak here. Let me look for a grid. Layout cache. grid of rows. I don't know if this is, this doesn't feel implemented. This is giving me bad vibes. I think I'm gonna give up on grid. I don't think it's called grid. So you want columns and rows. But layout type grid. Thank you, Nightbot. Based on the existing examples. Which example? Wait, but a grid needs column and rows defined. Defines a single column element for row elements in it. Grid layout type is not used anywhere. Column element needs a style. I'm not sure if I'm following. There's a lot of words being thrown at me. Let's see. I think I'm not the expert here, but I think maybe I need to not have the style. If you go back to your implementation, I'm back at my implementation. No, Michael, you can keep throwing advice and I'll type it in. The parent style container should be a column layout type. This is column. Then each one holding your item should be rows. Such as this. Yeah, okay, so I'm doing what Kyle's saying with the columns and rows. But how do I control this spacing? Because I believe that's more than 1 pixel. And so I think somewhere in here, your layout, not layout type, but somewhere in here it says if you're controlling yourself or if your parent's controlling you. I think styling's not implemented properly. That's unfortunate. That might actually be 1 pixel. The default padding might be higher. Well, how do I override? Try setting padding and margins to 0. Oh, on everything? Okay, sure. Somewhere in here I was setting it like parent directed or child directed. Let me look at item. Ah, yeah, the position type. What is the default for position type? The default is parent directed. Okay, never mind. Ah, for your rows. Change them independently. Position type, parent directed. So padding, edges all, 0. I guess, yeah, let's make a dense grid. make the padding on everything 0. Probably don't need elements around your items. Well, I did that originally. I had elements around them because if I say I have 2 items here, and my second tea costs 200, I was hoping to make a grid. Padding is the space going inward. Like, see, this is what I'm happy with this. But why does this one stretch? And I'll blow your minds even more. If I had a couple more of these, I think they stretch all the way down the screen. So now I should have 4 rows, 2 columns. Yeah, so it's... the layout is crunching them on the screen. Set margin to 0 too. Can do, boss. Margin. This acts like a margin? Well, you don't have something called margin. The position will offset from this widget's default position. For widgets with a self of parent directed, which we have, this acts like a margin. This is the actual position. So this will act like a margin. I just lost it. So offset. Just slap that in, everybody. Sure, you can have it too. Parent height ends up being Y max. Agreed. Oh, now I can't tell because I made so much crap. I mean, for practical gameplay reasons, I could just set the parent size to be what I want. Maybe. I just don't know why these 2 siblings here are behaving like these 2 lay out correctly, but then these 2 siblings, which are laid out vertically, are not behaving correctly. And I don't know why. Is it this left top stuff? The distance between the left edge of this widget and the left edge of its containing widget. But are you not just offset? Left. Bottom. The UI doesn't float horizontally. I think we ended up overcomplicating it. An element with a column layout type with a padding or row between set containing items. Okay. So you're talking about this element, which is a column layout type with a padding or row set containing the items. But then how do I move down to the next row? Let me see if I had left and bottom, or left and top to this. Is that where the magic is? Nope. Just make the height of the parent something. need a row element around the items. I'm not sure. You choose the column. I mean, so this works if I just set the height of this and hard code it. This works for gameplay purposes. It's not proper. But I can now control this by saying like 780. Because each one is 250. And that'll give me the 10 pixels left over. So this works. Problem is it's distributing evenly across the rows. Yeah, I don't want it. I don't want the stretch. It's stretching to fill the size of its invisible container. Can I set a background color on this to show it? Oh, people are now talking about me. Hurts my OCD. The second column is slightly lower than the first. Is it? I don't think it is. I think this works. He's tripping. Yeah, I think I have it set right. Just put a roller up to my screen. I hate this, but it's 250 plus the 10% padding, or the 10 pixel padding for 3 objects. Works. If any of you want to have fun at home, I can put this up on GitHub. If that really bothers anyone. I came in today thinking I'd be ready. I've contributed to Kayak. I don't know if I'm going to show anything I shouldn't. I probably won't. Yeah, I came into this ready today to be like, oh, I'm an expert in Kayak. I know exactly how it all works. So implement the add trait. I don't like where your brain's going. New, push an existing. I'd like to push an existing, thank you very much. Slap that stuff in there. Remind me to change this. Nobody reminded me to change that. Me commit. Sure. Gross, but working. I see chat spinning. Also, does anyone know what all this crap is? How do I remove this? I've never seen this before. Oh wait, is there an open issue on Kayak? 24 seconds ago. Alright, anyone who wants to suffer along and play with that, it was all in the widgets folder. Those look like stashes. Orphan hashes. Ah! I can clean those up. That makes sense. I wonder why that happened? I've done this whole project live. It's 5 commits. This is not an old project. Alright, let's see what we have. chat. Okay. Goidal issue about index exception. No answers at the moment. 2 days old. Yeah, I'm hoping the person who's maintaining Kayak is still around. If not, we'll fork it and we'll take ownership of it. Did I merge? Okay, hold on. Michael, you shouldn't like where my brain goes. I'm Kotlin engineer and write Swift instead of generating it with Kotlin. Gross. Yeah, you did need to remind me of something. I did not do a merge conflict, though. VS Code logically started. Recently started using GitHub's API instead of Git's API. Instead of Git's, just an off by 1 error. Oh no. Maybe I did stash at one point when we were fighting with the cargo dependencies. I don't know. I'll clean it up. Well, I'm glad, because I think Zach is about to make a pull request. That's going to add a -1 to an index lookup. We're going to spam this poor guy with pull requests and issues. I have like 10 new people that have been staring at these examples in source code for the past week for a repo that technically doesn't even support this version of Bevy. And to be clear, it says I need to be using Bevy 6 and I'm using Bevy 7. So, and I made an issue asking him why, and I didn't get any response yet. Yeah, I'm not worried about him being in the repo when I pushed it. I might delete my local copy. That's a caveman solution. Cool. I think I'm wrapping up. I think I'm going to be done for tonight. This was 2 hours of hell. Oh, well, good. Yeah, I'll see you later, Zach. And Dorza, you're showing up at the wrong time. We've been suffering here for 2 hours, and I think I'm going to head home. Or, I guess I am home. I'm going to head out. But thanks for stopping by. Thank you, Michael. I don't know if I'd call it a great stream, but it was fun. People got to fight with me. I learned something, probably. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Zach. I promise, I'll get back into making well-edited tutorials and making games and getting stuff pushed out for Bevy. I'm excited to see it grow. So, I'm gonna end stream. Thank you all for coming out, and I appreciate all of you. Have a good night.